Welcome to Issues and Answers. I'm Cheryl Harleston. Boy, do we have a show for you today. We're talking about the outskirts of Charleston County, where we don't see a lot going on in the way of jobs and business development. Well, it's happening right now, and we can be thankful to one of our county council members for all of that. So stick around and we'll give you more information on that and a couple of other things. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Issues and Answers. As promised, we're going to be talking about jobs and preparing for jobs and also for business, learning about business and how to go into business, things that are important to our young people today and not so young as well. We hear so much on the national scene about jobs and the lack of them. But oftentimes, our people of various kinds just aren't ready. Well, that's not going to be happening in the Ravenel area. They're getting them ready. So I'd like you to meet the people who are responsible for all that. Sitting next to me is Anna B. Johnson, and she is a Charleston County Councilwoman. And your district is?
District 8.
And District 8 is where?
District 8 encompasses James Island, Johns Island, Ravenel, Hollywood, Edisto, so all of the Sea Islands. And
all those huge cities.
Yes.
I understand. And sitting next to her is Cassandra Jameson, and she is Career Center Site Manager for South Carolina Works Trident.
That's correct.
What is South Carolina Works Trident?
Well, it is definitely a career center that provide opportunity for people that are looking for employment or are employed but looking to try to find ways to better themselves.
Are there a lot of people unemployed right now? South Carolina has always had a fairly high number of unemployed people. Has it gotten worse, or is it just about where it's always been?
Well, since about 2008, we started going into the double digits with unemployment, and before that we were single digit, probably 1.5% unemployment. But now, today, we have come down some, but not enough, because the latest unemployment rate is still at 7.6%.
Oh my goodness. Cassandra, I've heard people say that there just aren't jobs in this community.
Mm-hmm.
We're a tourist community.
Right.
And as a consequence, there are few, if any, factories and other places where one can make a career.
Right.
What do you say to that, and what are you doing to help this situation?
Well, honestly, the opportunities for jobs have definitely increased. Like the councilwoman said earlier, back in 2008, we really kind of hit rock bottom where there wasn't anyone hiring. But we have seen the trend that it is changing now, where people are beginning to hire again. So that has caused our unemployment rate to start coming down. There's still a lot of people unemployed, but for those of us that work with it on a daily basis, we are seeing the increase. So there's the improvement. Factories and companies are beginning to hire again. So that's a good thing.
Okay, and I'm interested too, when I come back to you, about the types of jobs and then the preparation that you're doing to help people get these jobs. But the concern here I have, I hope the councilwoman can answer it, is why did it take us so long to get out to that area, to Ravenel and all those small communities? What happened?
Well, I have to say that I recently got on county council, and this is my first year. And so during this year, I felt I needed to do as much as I can to help people that are in the southern end of Charleston County, and certainly this is an area that I felt needed a lot of attention.
Are the people who need the jobs or need job training, do you find them to be the old, the middle-aged, or youth?
Well, I think some of the older people have found out just recently, like people that are in their 50s, a lot of jobs are folding, and so now it's hard for them to find work, and this is happening quite unexpectedly for them at the age of in the 50s.
Sure.
And then of course we have the young people that are going to college and coming out now, and they're not able to find jobs because it's just not as readily available as it was before the 2008
Cassandra,
crisis.
how do you prepare a person for a job? And certainly that job is not on the islands, or is it?
There are some there also, but then people do have to be willing to do the commute, and that's just really important. And when you ask the question about preparation for jobs, I always tell people that one of the most important things is that in order to prepare for it, you must have a resume that's going to capture that employer's attention. There's so many people vying for the same jobs now, and you don't get the opportunity to walk in and do the cold calls. So the thing that will get you in the door is going to be your resume.
Have you had any success with this thus far? And how long have you been in the business of helping to find jobs in the councilwoman's district?
Now, they are a part of the area in which we cover.
Ah, okay.
So people do come in from that area in order to utilize our center. We see that on a daily basis. But what the councilman is doing is what's so great about that, and we was just very happy to be a part of it, is that you do have those individuals who will say on a daily basis, I can't get into your center that is located in the city.
So yeah, because we don't have mass transit
Exactly.
in Charleston County.
No, we
so
don't, and that's an area that
that's another area.
yes,
That's
that I'm
another
trying to
area.
work on, because I realize that when people are unemployed and they have to now find the monies,
Right.
you know, it means to get to the
Transportation.
location of the South Carolina Works. You know, this is we're in the north area, and so they have to have someone to take them if they don't have a car. So it is kind of hectic, and that's why this is going to be so convenient.
Oh, that's
to have it right
perfect.
there.
And what are you training them in, real quickly, as far as preparing themselves for a job? You've got to do the resume. and
Exactly.
How about interviews
we-
and how you dress?
Exactly. We do workshops on all of those, and all of these are some of the things, like I said, we do in our main center, but we will be taking all of this out to the Ravenel site also. We do workshops on resume preparation, interview skills, what to say, what not to say, how do you need to dress for that particular job, how do you look at barriers that may be keeping you from getting into that job. So all of these are some of the things too that we will be able to take out to the residents in that area.
You know what's scary about this whole thing of getting a job, especially if you're a young person, is that you need to have some sort of resume, and you've got to have some history
Yes.
of having worked. And if you don't have any history, what are you going to do? So some of these folks you're dealing with don't have any history.
But that's the thing about it, is that when you learn how to do resume, there are different type of resumes that you can do. So you can even do those resume wherein an individual that does not have a whole lot of work history, you kind of focus on volunteer work that you've done and different things like that. So that's why it's important to know about the resume and the different type of resume, because if you don't have a lot of background wherein you have a large work history, then you need to do a different type of
Are you
resume.
finding that the young people and middle age and all those that come to the center, and that's the South Carolina Works Trident?
Right.
Is that one stop?
That's the one stop.
So the
Former-
name has changed?
It has
Oh,
changed. It's the
goodness, I
former-
thought I missed something.
was
But are you finding many folks coming your way and
Oh, yes.
looking at, and they don't have any experience?
Yes.
And where have they been working, or just not working at all?
You find, honestly, we see an array of all. We get those folks that come in, the young people who without the experience. We have those that are coming that have experience but have been laid off due to downsizing and different things like that. And even like you said, the seniors who now are finding that I need to go back to work in order to supplement what I have.
And they may have to
So-
be retrained.
Yes.
But they got to go
definitely.
in a different way. It's got to be that resume and all. And another thing that your age,
Yes.
my age too, but we don't know how to use computers.
another
That's not
thing.
good news, is it?
It's not.
Right.
And I'll
Oh,
tell you
boy.
now that everything now is basically computer based, and that's one thing that we really try to get folks to understand when they come into our center. When they go into our resource center, we do have people there that will kind of help them with the computers, but that's important.
Well, Cassandra, we can't thank you enough for telling us about all of the wonderful things that are going on in the way of providing not only jobs, but job training, and that really makes you ready
It does.
to get the jobs when they do come about.
Right.
But I'm going to talk with the councilwoman for just a little while about how she decided that this would be one of the things that she felt was more important than maybe something else in her district. And we'll talk about where that district is. She is way out there. We'll do that in just a moment. And then we're going to talk about the business side of this. Yes, there's business training in that area as well. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our program. I'm talking with County Councilwoman Anna Johnson, and she's told us that she's going to be moving, and has already, moving job training and business training into your district.
Yes.
So what happened that you wanted to do all of that?
Well, I know that this is a time that we have a lot of unemployment, still, being a high number, and people that live out in the Ravenel area, Edisto Islands, they have a long distance to travel to go to seek job opportunities or training, and to go to North Charleston, spending driving 40 or 50 miles to get there is just, far way to go. So by bringing the service center to Ravenel area, this is going to allow a lot of people in the surrounding area to have the convenience of just going much shorter miles to get the service they need.
Now, you're officially going to open that center pretty soon.
Yes, we are. The center's going to open on January the 20th. And so we're going to have a drop-in that afternoon from 1 to 3. We are inviting the public to come. Certainly anyone that's interested in trying to get preparation for a job, or any employers that are looking for workers, and someone who's trying to get information for setting up their business.
That's a great idea. I assume there's a lot of unemployment. Large unemployment in the area?
The unemployment is still high, much higher than it was before the 2008, when we lost our economy and we had the double digits. We're in single digits, but still it's too high when we're, still at about 7.6% in the unemployment in Charleston
and business
County.
Opportunities, there must be all kinds of business opportunities for one to open a business in all sorts of things, food stores, clothes store.
Yes, indeed, and I even think of, people who grow their vegetables in some of those areas, they would be able to
good idea.
Bring some of their hobbies, or the small farmers, they can sell their fruits and vegetables under a small business. And if you're doing catering, at home, well, now this is an opportunity to look at trying to make it a business. So I think it's a great opportunity for people to look at how to expand, into a business field if they can't find a job.
Now, you're going to be in the center for this grand opening?
Oh, yes, I
and
will be at the center.
And that's going to be on what road? Where is that?
The center is located on Highway 165. Which is near Highway 17, and the address is 5962 Highway 165. That's the Tumbleston Service Center that the county has. And we also this is the same location where Ravenel Town Hall is, so you can't miss it.
So is it in Ravenel Town Hall?
Ravenel Town Hall is within the service center. Yes, the
it's
Tumbleston
within the
Service Center.
So you've got all of that there, and it's waiting for young and middle-aged and old to come in and train and retrain and get themselves a job, or get themselves in a position for jobs.
That's correct, and this is a pilot program that we're sponsoring, so we're going to do this for a year, and we want to encourage everybody in the surrounding area to please take advantage of this, because if we don't use it, we lose it.
That's what I wanted to say. You're trying, so it's up to us now.
It's up to the
community, it's up to the people to come on out. We're going to go into another segment and talk about business, the business opportunities that are also a part of what you're doing here, jobs and business and jobs. We'll be right back. Ravenel, Hollywood, those places, convenience so that they can train for jobs and, of course, learn business and learn to be prepared for those kinds of opportunities. And I'm so pleased to have back with me our county councilwoman from District 8, and she is Anna B. Johnson. And your district is Ravenel, Hollywood.
The city of Charleston on Johns Island is also in the district, so I have, and Meggett, the town of Meggett. So I have 4 municipalities and the Sea Islands, including James Island, Johns Island, Wadmalaw, and Eddystone Island, and Adams Run area.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's
So
a
it's-
lot,
yes.
yeah, and it's a lot of people in there too. And I know for myself that there are a lot of people who need your help. And then I want to go to Susan Hogan. All right, and because I just talked with Cassandra Johnson, and Jameson rather, and she was telling us about all the work that she's been doing in the way of preparing people for jobs. And you're doing something similar. You're preparing people for business.
Right.
What is it that you want us to know about business, and what are you teaching these individuals?
Well, I would first start out by saying that in line with what the issues you brought out with employment in the area over the past few years, it stands to reason that a great many people who lost jobs have gone into small businesses trying to make their way. And Charleston County 4 years ago decided to implement a small business enterprise program with the primary purpose of bringing small businesses, existing businesses, have to be a year old, up to the level of being able to do business with Charleston County and with the state or with the federal government. In order to bring this program into fruition, we have partnered with the South Carolina Small Business Development Center, the SBDC. They are the other half of Ms. Johnson's initiative at the Ravenel Center.
Yes.
And what they have always done for us, we have a formal partnership and have had since the SBE program came into existence. What they have done for us is when we see small business owners who are maybe just starting out or haven't even started out, it's just a dream. They need to know what to do, how to get from point A to point B.
Okay, that's where I want to go next. What is it that one needs to know to
Well-
get themselves started in a business and to
Right.
be successful at it? And are you teaching or are you helping these folks get into this position?
Absolutely. We have a great deal of understanding of just how hard that is, and a great deal of empathy for and respect for the people who are trying to do it. If I had to say you need to know one thing
Yeah.
before you start,
Yes.
it would be to call the SBDC office.
Right.
This is a nationwide program. Charleston County is fortunate to have that office in this area. They teach everything from how to do a business plan, how are you going to get capital, who's going to give you a loan. They work between the Small Business Administration and the client. They show them how to get registered for to receive federal contracts.
Well, that sounds fabulous.
It is.
Now, I'm
It
aware
is.
of how one would get some training
Okay.
on setting up that business and having the business plan in place. Of course, you need help with that too. If you're really going to do a good business plan, you need some help. But I don't understand how the individual gets themselves in a position to come up with the capital that they need, the place that they need. They may need a secretary or somebody to help them answer the phone and the like. I mean, how can you get yourself into that situation? And how long do you stay with these folks until they get there?
Well, once the business is up and running, as I said, for at least a year, has been earning for at least a year, then that's where the Charleston County SBE program comes into play. And we offer management and technical advice, seminars. We do a lot of after-hours workshops and seminars on a broad range of subjects taught by people who are experts in the area, in that field.
Oh, good.
So we're really able to share some very good expertise with our businesses.
And I think that's a wonderful thing. The Chamber of Commerce has something very similar, the SCORE program.
Right.
And individuals are able to get with people who are doing the very job that they want to learn to do, and that works out. How did the county get involved in all of this? And I
Well-
know that you're interested in having as much of this kind of training available to people in your district.
Exactly.
What moved you on this?
Well, of course, when I ran for office, really had a thought that I needed to work with people to help them to improve their quality of life. And so that encompasses a number of things. And as I had those thoughts, the county sponsored a business forum in the town of Hollywood. And from that, Representative Brown approached me and asked if we couldn't try to make a way for the Small Business Development Center to come to Ravenel area. And I thought, well, this is just the kind of thing I was thinking about. So yes, we're not going to only go for the Small Business Development Center. It helped me to go on and look at bringing in the South Carolina Works and also the Small Business Enterprise from Charleston County.
One of the big things that, at least I'm told this, one of the big things that really stalls a person that wants to get into business is the capital, operating capital, some money. How do they get the money? I mean, does it come
Well,
from the
that's-
county, or does it come from the air out there, or where?
Well, I have to say, as far as the county is concerned, no, we don't have the part of the money. Right now, with the program, we're offering the space to allow these entities to work in the area to help from the standpoint of, their services. I wish we did have some grants that we would be able to give to a business person. Maybe that would be the next thing to look at.
Well, I think so, and there's money out there. The federal government has money for businesses. Are you all going after the grants?
That's the Small Business Development Centers
Yes.
area. They are able to help the business owners get loans that are backed by the Small Business Association, the federal Small Business Association.
That's the
So,
answer. That's the kind of thing
yeah.
we want to hear.
Yeah.
And to know that we have the councilwoman who's there and who's watching
Eager to
our
help.
backs and making sure that the rest of the county council knows what's going on, especially in a district like yours, way down there with James Island and Johns Island and all those wonderful places. Thank you so very much for being a part of our program, Susan Hogan, and we wish you well.
Welcome.
And for the councilwoman, thank you for having the
you.
initiative to want to help people in your community gain jobs. That's a big thing these days. We'll be talking more about jobs and job opportunities as we go along because, as you know, that is a huge interest right now on the part of the federal government. Unemployment is so high, and it's good that we have people in our community who are working on it. Now, there are several ways that you can get in touch with these individuals, with our councilwoman and with Susan Hogan, if you would just use the information that's on the screen right now. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer any additional questions that you might have and get you started. See, all of this is for convenience. That's what's so nice about having a program like this and coming from the county council. So that's what we have in terms of information on jobs and business. But as far as issues and answers is concerned, we're always here and ready to have persons on our show and here in the studio with me to talk about things that are of interest to you and yours. And we'll try to do that. So there you have it. Issues and Answers. I'm Cheryl Harleston.